Hello everyone, welcome to A Trader's Journey. Welcome to another episode of Free Markets on Sundays. And let's just jump into it. So today I want to start on the weekly. Obviously I didn't take a trade last week. I got busy and as well there were a lot of news and obviously FOMC. So I wanted to see how the week will play out and what is the outlook looking like going into the fourth quarter. So at the moment we're looking at this weekly candle, right? Obviously this is a consequence of the news. FOMC, we moved up into the zone, into this value area because of this is the run that broke structure, right? This is where the volume came in. This is the original volume of this structure. This is the original volume where the volume came in, broke structure, started correcting into this value area. So we hit that value area, and what's interesting to see is how this candle closed, right? Obviously we swept everything up here, hit the value area, and then we closed below the previous week's lows, right? So we're looking at currently, obviously the way this candle closed shows us there's a lot of sell pressure, obviously targeting lows like this, targeting lows like that. So there's a lot of sell pressure that came into the market because of, I think we're about to see dollar strength kick in. So that gives us an idea of where the pound dollar and euro dollar is about to do. So we're about to see a lot of dollar strength come in. So this week it's very interesting how it closed below these lows. So we swept both sides and we closed a bit of volume coming down because of this candle is a little bit different to these previous candles, right? Because there's a lot of indecision here. Here, this candle has a lot more volume in it. So it sort of sets us for the rest of this month and going into the fourth quarter. So if I go on the daily and look at what potentially could happen, obviously you can see here we had these highs over here, right? But there was a gap in between these highs, this over here. So obviously this is the highest that's been holding price for quite some time, and we eventually broke through these highs. It came into this order block. This is the original volume that started this run, right? This order block over here. This is the order block that started this run over here, broke structure and broke structure. So these highs are quite significant, and we broke above it, came into the original volume, but then we closed below this level again, which shows us a bit of sell pressure coming in as per the weekly candle, and we can start looking for shorts because of these are very strong bearish days, these three candles here. From Wednesday we've had a strong run, which makes this level over here, because it's been holding price for quite some time, which makes us this level here. I'm looking for anything that can retest this level. If we can retest this level, then we are looking for quite a long run, these lows and these lows in the coming weeks, right? So tomorrow we might see some pullback into this area because of this volume. Obviously price will slow down a bit to reprice to a better price, and we could see quite a bearish run to end the year. If I draw this channel over here, you can see exactly what I'm talking about, right? So for tomorrow I'm looking at a bit of a pullback into this area, and then see if we can get a continuation. So if I jump onto the 4 hour, we've already started retesting this level. That's why I left it here. Obviously we broke below this level, closed below it, and we had a follow through candle, which obviously proves our volume. Obviously they've got some reaction points here where price could react. This is where another structure, a bullish flag, so you expect price to react from here because there was a lot of volume built up here. But we know that in this structure we possibly looking at the low, this area over here, in the next coming weeks, right? This is our external structure. We're still trading internally, so because of this volume, signaling to us that we are starting to make a run for these lows and possibly these lows over here. So it's shaping up for a bearish next couple of weeks. So we just have to be obviously we got FOMC out the way. We should have a clear run. Obviously there's still some news, but because of this FOMC is out the way now, we could start looking at trading with a bit more freedom and looking at these areas. So for now I'm looking for a bit of a reaction in these areas to see if we can. This is our first target over here, and then obviously a bit of a reaction, and then second target over here. So I am looking at this area. Obviously you can see the trend line here, but it's gonna break in the next coming week. So this is the area I'll be looking to get involved in if we get to hold this area next week. So we'll see how Asia prints, but this is the area that I'm looking at in terms of where my decisions are going to be made. It's not a big level, but if we get a bigger pullback, I will be interested in seeing where entering at the zone. Obviously the volumes kicked in here, and another volume, obviously another correction here, the volume kicked in here. So anything that comes into this area closes a bit of this gap, and I'm gonna be looking at some shorts coming into next week. So this sets up my week perfectly, and we can look at anything. This is obviously a long-term trade. Short-term you can target these lows, and obviously long-term we're looking at these lows, and then we'll see how we scale in this trade on a lower time frame. So let's see how Asia prints. By the time London opens, hopefully we'll get a setup on pound dollar. Going to euro dollar, let's see. It's not as clean as pound dollar, but there's quite an interesting thing that I want to show you on euro dollar, right? It's on the higher time frame. I want to show you this because of this is our let me move these levels here. This is where the year started, right? If you look at it from a wider lens, this is January 25, right? This is where the year started. So you can clearly see we've stayed above this trend line all the way. Even in this weird little price action, we've stayed inside this trend line. So it shows you for a full year, for almost a full year leading up to this month, we've had a trend building up. Obviously we've had a break of structure, retest, another level here, retest, and you can clearly see yet another level holding price here. So we've been in quite a large basically we've been in a trend since the beginning of the year, a bullish trend, right? Price tried to break this line, obviously reacted again on this trend line, and we haven't closed below this trend line until possibly tomorrow, where you see price come in, break below this, because tomorrow we'll see how Asia prints, but I want to see tomorrow's candle close below this trend line, and maybe a bit of a reaction at this area here, at this zone here, right? And then we can possibly looking at breaking the structure, bit of a reaction here, obviously here, and then we can look at a bigger run, depending how strong the dollar can be to close out the year, right? So that's what I'm looking at on euro dollar and pound dollar. Pound dollar is looking a little bit more cleaner than euro dollar, all because of I don't love this zone over here. Preferably I would like to trade euro from below here, right, and trade it all the way to these levels down here. So at the moment I'm loving pound dollar more, but we'll see how Asia prints. So for now we're still holding above this trend line, and then let's see what happens coming into coming into this week. So obviously you can see it's not as clean as pound dollar, still holding above, a little bit of break. Obviously this is the 4 hours, not a daily, a little bit of a break. So if we can break this trend line, but my preferred entry on euro dollar is the break and retest of this area, and then we can start looking for proper trades, and we can start loading up our trades a bit more into these levels here. But for now, it's been stuck in this since the beginning of August. We've been stuck in this. We started to broke out and broke back inside again last week. So this is the section that I'm not loving at the moment. So I would love to trade it below here. For now, I'll focus on the pound and see what I can do with the pound. The euro dollar, not loving this price action in between here. Preferably I would love to trade it at the below this level. So that's euro dollar. Let's jump on to yen. These are my weekend work. So let's take you through my weekend process and what I do on Saturdays and Sundays. So this is obviously UJ as well, been stuck in this terrible price action. This is actually coming up to 3 months now, July, August, September. For 3 months we've been stuck in this section. Obviously, like I said on the last video, I found some trades in here, but this one I'm not gonna risk it anymore. I'm gonna wait for a break and retest of this level, and potentially if we see some dollar strength coming in, potentially targeting these highs. But at the moment I'll wait on this one because I'm not loving this corrective structure for now. Obviously the volume came in, swept the low here, it closed inside this level, and then obviously Thursday printed as part of the continuation from the FOMC. So for now I want to see this momentum carry out into the zone, and maybe perhaps close and retest the zone, and potentially, and then I can look into possibly trading this again with a lot less risk, a bit more freer. Like I said, loading up the trades a bit more. For now it's not as clean as what pound dollar is showing me at the moment. So I will wait for this. Hopefully Asia can print much better, so we don't have to wait too long, and close and retest at this area, and then we can potentially look to go up and into these highs. Obviously looking back, and you can see these highs as well, and then these highs potentially for the next coming weeks. So tomorrow Asia will give us hopefully Asia can print and finally break above this, and then let's see if we can get a longer run in these highs with a bit of dollar strength. And just a bit of on the DXY, just to have a look. It's quite actually my messiest chart, but for good reason. Like I said, DXY also stuck between 98,606 and 96,97, right? This is the area that we need to break for us to see a bit of dollar strength, because it's been rejecting here for so many times, rejecting this 98.5 level. So let's hope that we can get at least a break above this level, and then we can see some dollar strength come in, possibly ride it all the way to 100, and let's see how the weeks begin. But the first target should be this level here, which is the 100, and beyond that we'll obviously make adjustment based on that. But the main thing is the DXY to sort of break and retest this level, and this is the 100 level. It's quite an important level, so let's see if we can get that in the next coming weeks and make a decision from there. So a dollar strength will set us up nicely, because we've been waiting for that for quite some time. Price has been dropping for 3 months on this chart, actually from January all the way. For now, this is where we start seeing some support level kicking in at this level. And let's see, we tapped into 96. Now we've closed about 97. Let's see if we can get to 100. So that's my analysis for the week. Hopefully you guys enjoy this video. I'll take you guys on the next one.